catch no fade, cause I'm worth too many M's, you dig?
I might as well get it in already.
Oh!
You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood.
You're doing it.
You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Oh, I live in the hood, ass nigga. Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys.
They don't get a pass.
Had a little homies press their ass
Carl.
with tattoos. Had your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime. I was long in the race, skinny nigga with the brain. Took a 2-man fade. I'm really from the hood. I took a fucking break to get my money right. But I was banging on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh you bang? They forgot where I came from. I was gang banging when it wasn't fun. Homie doing life right now, cause we don't play from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to set blood, ain't from the hood.
I saw Time up in here.
You ain't
Time.
never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Got a throwaway in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Oh, and Swahili, I'm a damu. My little cousin making paru. My nigga Uzi, he from Fire Deuce. Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window when we drive
nigga press
coops.
secretary at? He up in here?
Like it's
Nigga
92,
press
banging on
secretary in
tracks,
here?
banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood.
I gotta hit the next
You ain't
nigga
get
press
put on, you
secretary.
ain't from the hood.
I gotta hit the nigga press
You ain't never
secretary
got
just
put
in
on,
case
you ain't
he
from
didn't
the
get that
hood.
notification.
Niggas always claim to set
That
blood,
nigga live
ain't
on the
from
West Coast,
hood.
he up.
Hell nah. You ain't never got put on.
Tiger
you ain't
Bowl!
from the hood.
Fuck Chris Brown, nigga. Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch a
Look at
fade,
Tiger
nigga.
Bowl in the house.
Fuck, nigga. Frogs.
You ain't from the hood.
Tiger Bowl, long time supporter. Come get some of this knowledge over here. Tiger Bowl coming to get some of this knowledge. What's up with y'all? I have discovered something new today, right? Now, everybody know that we are in a recession, but we really don't know how bad this recession gonna be because ain't nobody telling us, you know? Don't nobody know. The critics don't know, the experts don't know, but we know. We feel it in our pockets. We feel it every day when we go to the gas station and things like that. Now, if you listen to my street show today, I'm going to do a lot more of that. You know what I'm saying? The next one I'm doing right now is about women's rights and stuff like that. I already got a couple of videos of women recorded and stuff like that. So I'm going to put that out next week. But I want to talk to the people that these Democrats so-called are speaking for or talking about, you know, the people they supposed to be fighting for and passing these policies for and stuff like that. I wanted to see and hear their voice, you know. I wanted to see that they blame it on Vladimir Putin and stuff like that. Now, we are in a recession whether the Biden administration want to tell you or not, right? All the experts saying it's going to get worse and stuff like that. But it's a way to fix inflation, right? But Joe Biden ain't going to listen to it, right? But it's a lot of other secrets I found out recording this video just in the last 30 minutes, right? So with no further delay, I'm finna get into this video because this shit is good. The worst inflations ever. You think we're in inflation, you ain't saw shit yet. Oh, let me unmute it.
Plan. He says, I got a plan.
Wait, let me, gotta do like this.
Got a plan.
Joe Biden said he got a plan. He ain't got no damn plan. Here we go.
He says, I got a plan. Some of it's repetitive. We're going to work on doing something about those supply chains, and we're going to do something about infrastructure. Well, didn't we pass a bill on infrastructure in November, and haven't you been working on supply chains since you got it up?
Every time Joe Biden get on TV, he talking about what he gonna do and what he working on and what he gonna try his best on. I'm working on supply chain. I'm working on the gas. I'm working on the food. I'm working on this. I'm working on it. He's always working on something, but ain't accomplished nothing. Right? He been working on shit since he got in office. I'm working on it. Working on getting the mask. Working on getting people the thing, getting the people arms. Working on everything. But ain't accomplished nothing. We're working on this. We're working on that. We're working on getting you this. Huh? Then he want to blame everybody. He even blaming you. You buying too much shit, he's saying. Stop buying shit. He said the price will go down if you stop buying food. Stop buying food and gas will go to work and the price will go down.
Inflation is the rate that shows how much the price for goods and services rise.
And then he recycled all these spending programs. Lawrence was absolutely right. The argument is we're gonna pass green new energy. We're gonna pass child care, elder care, a whole bunch of social programs to take money out of the pockets of most Americans and give it to some Americans, and that's going to lower the cost for them.
That ain't no plan. That ain't no fight, no inflation. That's Robin Hood. Well, we're going to take the money from the rich and we're going to give it to the poor. And that's going to end inflation. What that going to do about the prices? What that going to do about the gas? It's not going to do a damn thing about none of them. Huh? You got to be energy efficient, right? You got to be energy independent, right? You got to drill your own shit, make your own energy, drill your own gas. You got to do all that shit. You can't be dependent on somebody else and then say we're gonna come out of recession and you working on it, and when you put it on everybody else. And plus, it's laws against price gouging. Joe Biden can't say nobody price gouging because they got laws in place for price gouging. If that's the case, why the hell the Fed's taking so long to bust their ass about price gouging? It's illegal.
That ain't a plan.
A low inflation rate is the norm in most countries around the world. The U.S. inflation rate, for example, in 2019 was 2.3%.
And we all know who was in office then. Huh? Donald Trump was in office when it was 2.9%. We was loving that.
In the Eurozone, 1.3%.
Oh, they doing better than us right now, too.
And then he made these claims. I reduced the deficit, which got him 3 Pinocchios from the Washington Post when he first said it. And then he finally, at the end, he says, oh, let's have an open and honest debate between Republicans and Democrats, a discussion to work this out, after he slams the Republicans with something that also won him critical comment from the Washington Post fact checkers.
Where are the fact checkers? Remember when CNN and all them other TV shows had the balls and the number of times Trump lied and put a ball in and all those shit? Where everybody at now? When Joe Biden get all these damn Pinocchios from newspaper about him, his son, the war, the economy, COVID, everything. He getting a Pinocchio for every damn thing.
The American economist Philip Kagan was the first to classify hyperinflation. He stated that the phenomenon happens when a country's inflation rate exceeds 50% per month.
It was bad, but I found out this morning it's even worse than I thought it was. This morning, this is the headline in the Washington Post. Biden's fantastical claim of $500 in annual utility savings. In his article, he says, utility executives told me that if they pass my green energy plan, you'll have $500 less a year in utility costs. Well, first of all, he didn't hear it from utility executives. Somebody in the White House read it in a report. The report is not about utility costs. The savings are on us all getting electric cars and not paying for gas. And it's an estimate for 2030 when he won't even be in office.
That nigga probably won't even be alive in 2030. That's 8 damn years. That nigga be what, 85 damn years old? That nigga probably won't even be alive when he talking about this plan coming in office, right? But Joe Biden talking about plans and getting plans out of damn near brochures. He done read some shit out of Levitt's and shit or some kind of furniture company, right? Or some kind of electric company, and done got his whole damn plan out of a damn brochure. Huh? Who was that sending the donation? Thank you, Rebecca Gillard. Huh? $6.50 for gas here in the... What? $6.50 for gas? It done went up on you? You in 707. Oh, that's why. Rebecca, you in 707. But watch the ridiculous inflation on these other countries, right? We ain't going there, but damn it, we close. We got all the damn recipes.
There are different reasons this happens. Even though each case is unique, there are common patterns.
So The president got 3 Pinocchios today from the Washington Post for that. Where are the fact checkers in the White House? Where's the person who says, you know what, we can't have the president of the United States go out there and say something that is fundamentally untrue?
For example, in most cases, the economy is already weak, and there is a shock caused by war.
There's a shock caused by war, right? What do Joe Biden say, right? It's a Vladimir Putin price hike. Right? Caused by Vladimir Putin invasion. Vladimir Putin price hike. So one of the main ingredients to hyperinflation is a war. We're not in war, but we funding war, right? We don't know what's going to happen with China. We don't know what's going to happen with Iran. We don't know what's going to happen with North Korea, right? We don't know what's going to happen with any other country right now. Where we already fighting a war damn near with Russia. $60 billion sent over there, right? It's sent most hyper inflation start with a damn war.
As of this morning, $4.72 a gallon, up 12 cents from just last week, with no slowdown really in sight here. We saw the president's op-ed. We know what he believes the sources are, which is the Fed, which is our deficits, which is the war in Russia.
War in Russia. It starts with a war. Main ingredient, war. Main ingredient to a recession is war.
All of those may be true, but that's not helping anybody today, tomorrow, or next week paying for gas at the pump. What do you say to people who are really struggling with prices, not just with gas, but groceries and so many other items?
International
Nothing.
isolation or natural disasters.
So
natural disaster. What's a natural disaster we just got hit with? Inflation, war, and natural disaster, right? What was the natural disaster we just got hit with from China?
We've had many economists on this show over the last couple of weeks and, in fact, months, pointing to some of the pandemic-era stimulus packages as overheating the economy. We understand why they were necessary at the time to save a lot of businesses, to save a lot of people's livelihoods. As you look back as an economist, just simply, though, do you believe that those packages are contributing to the inflation we're seeing today?
The road to hyperinflation usually comes after a chain of events.
A change in events. We going through a change in events. A presidency, A change in events. What? We went from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. That's a chain of events. War, natural disaster, and a chain of events.
And it usually happens as follows. Tax revenues are drastically reduced.
He said everything is good. The economy is really good, and it's because of my policies on the economy and vaccination. And my point was, people don't feel that it's good.
I believe that those packages are integrally contributing to some of the remarkable economic statistics and dynamics that we've posted.
Look at this. The experts say Joe Biden putting all that money into the economy help add to the recession. They talking about, no, it helped with jobs, it helped with growth. No, it haven't. The people don't feel that. Don't nobody know who in the community, in the black community, know what the damn rescue plan is. So it damn sure didn't rescue them, right? You're talking about a plan that added money to the economy. This will overheated the economy. This will added to inflation. You're putting money into the economy. That's part of inflation, as he fit explain a little bit later on.
And they also think that to the degree that the economy has come back with jobs and growth, it's because we were naturally recovering from the end of the pandemic shutdowns.
Seeing signs of inflation beginning to increase.
So no question that these have contributed to this economic backdrop that is so critical right now with people facing this elevated inflation.
The rescue plan is the thing that helped us out in dealing with inflation. Who the fuck did it rescue? The people was going to come back to them jobs. You could have put out any plan at that time and say the jobs was created by that plan. You could have called it the come back home plan, the fucking get another job plan, the bullshit plan. You could have called it any plan and all you put some money behind it and say, well, this contributed to the jobs. No, it didn't. People was going to go back to work at Taco Bell. People was going to drive trucks again. People was going to start teaching again. People was going to start working in factories again. People's gonna do in-home service and cleaning and street services. And people's gonna do all that shit again eventually. So all the jobs you're talking about created, what jobs? There's been no new jobs. All that green, new energy deal shit you were talking about, it's going to be people making plants and 8 million jobs and this and all. No. Them jobs already came back. A monkey could have been president and them jobs was going to come back. It was already in the mix. But Joe Biden wanted to take credit for them.
Understood. Did it contribute to the inflation, though?
And frankly, they don't credit the president. That's why we have terrible numbers on the approval of his handling of the economy, only 35% approved, and why we have the lowest economic confidence index, according to Gallup, since we had near the end of the Great Recession in 2009.
The reason can be external factors like war.
We're seeing very substantial inflation. It's very interesting.
A sudden change in commodities prices, or country-specific reasons like political transition, bad monetary policies, and even corruption.
What is that? That's all the damn Biden administration right there. All wrapped into one. Huh? Corruption, all that shit wrapped in, transition, all that shit wrapped into one is Joe Biden. And this expert with AIG who knows money more than Joe Biden say it's an inflation coming. And it's the same reason all the other experts say, because the economy was so hot because Joe Biden put so much money into the economy. $600 stimulus, $600 a week, stay at home, spend this. People are spending money like crazy because they had it to spend. That's what made the economy hot.
Raising prices, people are raising prices to us. It's being accepted.
The government starts printing money.
Do you guys think that any part of inflation this year is because of President Biden's spending plans?
The supply of money pushes inflation up.
I mean, it's not, take home building. I mean, the cost of, we've got 9 home builders in addition to our manufactured housing thing and then operation, which is the largest in the country. So we really do a lot of housing. The costs are just up.
Up. Everything is going up. It's a hot economy because people are able to buy stuff, but it's costing more. You're buying stuff, but it's costing more. The hot dog is costing more. The ketchup is costing more. The soda is costing more, right? You're going to buy a soda. You're going to buy a hot dog. You're going to buy a hamburger. You're going to buy a pizza. You're going to buy tires. You're going to buy a new window. You're going to get a tune-up. You're going to buy oil. You're going to buy hair, nail, whatever you need. You're going to buy clothes. Certain things you got to buy. Right? You heat up the economy, right? Supply and demand, more money chasing more supplies. Now is more money chasing less supplies, or more money chasing the same supply, but it costs more. They got the Doritos at the store, but it's a smaller bag and it costs 32 cents more. Oh, they got the Oreo cookies, all right, but it's $1.15 more. Oh, they're gonna have a gallon of milk, but it's gonna cost you $2 more. So they don't have everything you need, but it's going to cost you $2 more.
The rise impacts government revenues. The country experiences a period of high inflation.
We experienced a high inflation, right? They thought the inflation was going to go down. It went back up.
Affecting the government's budget and confidence in its institutions.
Steel costs just every day, they're going up, and there hasn't yet been, because the wage stuff follows. I mean, if the UAW writes a 3-year contract, we got a 3-year contract. But if you're buying steel at General Motors or someplace, you're paying more every day.
So it doesn't matter. The company's still gonna be there, but it's the products that the company buy is going up. It's more money to buy parts for the car. You know what I'm saying? So it costs more to make the car. Guess what? They got to sell the car for more now. So people got to buy new cars. People got to go to work. People got to turn their cars in. It's different reasons why people buy new cars. And they're going to buy them.
The government then prints more money and resorts to measures that fail to control inflation.
because they thought it was going to start going down by now. Of course, you saw officials like the Treasury Secretary to you saying that they got it wrong when they said they thought inflation was just going to be temporary.
So it's an economy really, it's red hot. I mean, and we weren't expecting it. I mean, all our companies, when they thought when we're allowed to go back to work, at our various operations, we closed the furniture stores. I mentioned, if they were closed for 6 weeks or so on average, and they didn't know what was going to happen when they open. And they can't stop people from buying things.
Right. So this is money experts say they closed the furniture stores down for 6 months, not knowing what was going to happen when the economy was going to come, when they was going to open back up with the economy. Right. They was preparing, right, for people not to buy, for people to save, right? When people was giving all this money, they thought people was going to save it, right? They were going to be scared to spend it. But people are spending at an alarming rate, right? It's making the economy hot. People spending more money, but they're not necessarily making more money, right? You're going to have to buy toothpaste. You're going to have to buy soap, right? You're going to have to buy every fucking thing you've been buying. The economy is only hot because you're buying the same product. You're just spending more for it. Ain't nobody going out buying extra shit right now unless you got the money to. You buying the same mouthwash, the same dishwashing liquid. It's just costing more. Of course the economy going to be hot.
The inflation rate accelerates.
And we can't deliver them. And they say, well, that's okay because nobody else can deliver them either. And we'll wait for 3 months or something. Sort of the backlog grows.
You hear that? They telling them we can get your products, but we can't deliver them for 3 months. And they say that's okay because can't nobody else deliver them either. So we're going to have to accept your 3 months. That's supply chain. Supply and demand, right? The economy is going hot because people are buying shit even though they can't get it right now. They buying shit because they know they got to buy it now because they buy it 6 months from now, they ain't going to see it for a year. So if they buy it now, they probably can see it in 3 months or 4 months, right? And the supply dealer, they tell you, well, we won't be able to get it out to you for a month or 2 months. If you can accept it or not accept it. If you need something for your house, if you need something for your car, you need something for your yard or anything like that, you're going to have to order it. Because guess what? The local stores ain't got it. Right? Everybody else telling you 5 to 6 months. This place telling you 3 months. So guess what? That you're going to buy because you need it. So of course the economy gonna be hot. Of course business gonna be hot because people buying shit that they're not even getting right now. They buying shit they're gonna get delivered in the future so they can use in the fucking future. They got a plan for the fucking future. That's why the economy hot because it fit a sizzle because people buying all they can right now, right? Pretty soon people ain't gonna be making redoing their house and redoing their bathroom and redoing their yard and redoing the club and redoing the business. Pretty soon people are going to be doing that. They're going to be spending that money. They're going to be buying them products. And then what?
And then we thought it would end when the $600 payments ended. And I think, around August of last year, it just kept going.
The currency value collapses.
The currency value collapses because people buying and buying. Guess what happened to currency, right? It collapsed, right? Because the value of money devalues. The money ain't the same. People buying too much shit. Like the money don't buy you the same shit no more.
And it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And I get the figures every week. I call. Or Bumpkin calls me and we go over day by day what happened at 3 different stores in Chicago and Kansas City and Dallas, and it just won't stop. People have money in their pocket and they pay the higher prices and
people got more money in their pocket and they paying higher prices. They got to buy the products. You got to buy the hand soap. You got to buy the chicken wings. You got to buy the biscuits. You got to buy the bread. You got to buy the t-shirt. You got to buy the boxers. If you got the money, you got to buy now. Because you don't know if you're going to have it later. Look. Okay, wait till I'm finna explain it more why we spending money like this right? Because they finna get into the inflation part of this, right? So I'm gonna explain to them why people spending money like this.
Inflation explodes. Country experiences hyperinflation.
Carpet prices go up in a month or two. You know, we announced a price increase for our costs are going up. Supply chains all screwed up, you know, for all kinds of people. But it's almost a buying frenzy, except certain areas you can't buy it. You really can't buy international air travel, and so the money is being diverted from a piece of the economy into the rest, and everybody's got more cash in their pocket.
Because Joe Biden, in other words, Joe Biden is pushing more money out, right? Remember, like, certain people got more money in their pocket because they got pay raises. Well, guess what? Them certain people who fortunate to have jobs and got them pay raises or buying stuff, right, that they needed, that they necessarily couldn't afford, you know, when they didn't have that pay raise. But guess what happened to the person who was a sacrificial lamb, because instead of having two workers, he only had to have one. The other person on GR, he ain't buying shit, or he getting the free money from the government and going out and spending it like crazy, right? But it's so much money, and then Joe Biden talking about putting more money, 1.3 trillion, 1.7 trillion, he was putting so much money in the motherfucking economy, $600 a week. People stealing money and all kind of shit. They still ain't got. Motherfuckers getting millions of dollars and millionaires off of stimulus and PPP loans and all kind of shit. I mean, it was so much crooked shit going on. It was just free money everywhere. People getting illegal money, spending like crazy. Then you talking about the economy hot. Hell yeah. Look how much motherfucking money these motherfuckers got off the PPE loans and was spent. And you listed it. Oh, somebody had a PPE loan. He bought this. He bought jewelry. He bought this, a luxury home. He bought this and 5 cars. Well, is you calling that as part of the hot economy? Or are you taking the money they spent away? Huh? Because it's bought shit with PPE loans, right? Most of that money was given to motherfuckers. Right? Of course you give somebody a PPE loan, they were serious about a business, they're going to go out and start a creative business. Of course. Then Joe Biden goes off on, under my administration is more people that apply for a small business loan, a small business. That's because they had to, because they got a PPE loan. Either you going to apply for a small business and try to act legit, or you going to take your ass to jail when them alphabet boys come. So hell yeah. Oh yeah, I got me a small business. I'm doing this and I'm doing that, so I'll use the PPE loan for this. I don't want to go to jail. Come on.
Before the First World War, cases of hyperinflation were rare. Prices rose during the French Revolution and American Civil War, but hyperinflation is mostly a modern phenomenon.
Except for, meanwhile, you know, it's a terrible situation for a percentage of the people. You know, this suit, I haven't worn a suit, you know, for a year practically, and that means that the dry cleaner nurse just went out of business. I mean, and nobody's bringing in suits to get dry cleaned, and nobody's bringing in white shirts.
The small business is getting killed. Nobody's doing the same shit, right? People not going to the cleaners no more like they used to, right? People are not doing the small business things like they used to, getting their hair washed, you know what I'm saying, getting their hair blow dried and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This is simple things. People are starting to do things for themselves. People are eating out less, starting to cook more by themselves, starting to do house maintenance more by themselves, starting to learn how to do more by themselves because they can't afford to hire the extra help. And what that does to the small business, kills them.
Small business person, if you didn't have takeout and delivery services for restaurants, you got killed. On the other hand, if you've got takeout facilities, you've done, you know, same source sales at Dairy Queen are up a whole lot, and they adapted them. But it is.
Now, remember, right? And I never thought about that. If certain restaurants in our neighborhood didn't have takeout, the little Chinese or black-owned restaurants, stuff like that, didn't deliver, right? Or didn't have takeout, they wouldn't exist, right? They wouldn't exist if they didn't have delivery and takeout, because they wouldn't be able to promote themselves. They wouldn't be able to compete with the big chains. The only reason they can compete because they have some kind of balance out, some kind of balance with the delivery and the dine-in. Right? Certain restaurants you don't have dining in. Certain restaurants you have dining in, you can compete, right, with big restaurants, stuff like that, because you can make your ambience way better than theirs. Right? Burger King may be cheaper, and the quality may be cheap, right? So people go there, you know what I'm saying, and sit down and have, you know what I'm saying, a nice restaurant. But if you go to a nice mom and pops, the meat is not going to be cheap. The food is not going to be cheap, and the ambience is not going to be cheap. Right? It's a difference. So the only way they're able to compete, because if they only had a drive-through, guess what? People wouldn't even go to that restaurant. They only compete because they got a dine in, and a take out. Never understood that.
It's not a price-sensitive economy right now in the least, and I don't know exactly how it shows up in different price indices, but there's more inflation going on quite a bit more inflation going on than people would have anticipated.
Quite a more, right? So that 8.6 is not really the correct number. The 8.6 we just got 2 days ago is not really the real number. Remember, it's an average. 8.6 is only the average. In Vegas, it's 12.2. In certain states, right, it's a higher average. In certain states, it's a lower average. Inflation not hitting every state the same. It's not hitting every city the same. In some cities, it's high inflation. In some cities, it's lower inflation. Depends on the city you're in. Depends on the state you're in. You can be getting hit with inflation a little bit more than the average person. It's an average.
Just 6 months ago or thereabouts. Inflation is going to affect you. It's certain we will have inflation over time.
It's certain we will have inflation over time. Who you gonna believe, Joe Biden or the experts?
Obviously, it is still here several months later. So now they're trying to focus on empathizing with Americans, on saying that they understand what they're going through.
Yeah, and there's one very intelligent man who thinks it's dangerous. And that's just the start.
And we are following policies in this country now to stimulate things, which stimulate business, which are bound to have some inflationary consequences.
Number 5.
Right, now we finna get into the top five inflation countries of all time, right? And coming in at number 5, right? Even though we're going through an inflation, right? And it's unexpected, right? And it's more to come. We don't know how high it is, but we better take note. We don't want our country to become like one of these fucking countries on any extent.
Greece. This is Greece, the country that gave us democracy, philosophers, and probably the world's earliest currency unit, the drachma. It is also the country that experienced the 5th worst case of hyperinflation in history. The worst month was October 1944, when the inflation rate was 13,800%.
13,800%. Now imagine if inflation was even 100 over here, right? 1,000. It wouldn't compare to 13,000% inflation. That is high as shit. If that's 13,000, you only can imagine how high the other ones are.
The New York Times reported that month that $1 was worth 300 million drachmas in the port of Patras. To understand how the situation got that bad, it is important to go back 4 years. The country was occupied by the Axis forces during the Second World War. The new government added to its expenses the support of its army, which had approximately 400,000 soldiers. This expense represented...
You know who got that now? Afghanistan. Afghanistan got about 400,000 soldiers over there, and all of them the Taliban, right? And they control that country. They over there in the inflation, right? When Joe Biden talking about all the countries doing way worse than us. Not too many modernized countries. Afghanistan probably.
Between 1/3 to 3/5 of all the country's expenditures during that time. And notes advanced from the Greek bank paid the bill. When the occupation ended, tax revenues covered only 6% of total expenditures. Another point of instability that contributed to the hyperinflation was the government's policy of paying with gold sovereigns, a British gold coin. This reduced public trust in the economy and added uncertainty to the situation.
Joe Biden needs to start paying with gold coins or gold something, right? Remember all these, they trying to, instead of paying with gold coins and selling, instead of selling gold coins, right? Joe Biden is selling oil, right? The same oil Donald Trump filled up in the oil reserve is the same oil Joe Biden took out of the oil reserve. Is the same oil that the energy sector bought, right, to put back in the oil reserve. Think about it. Donald Trump was criticized for buying it for $1.50, right, a gallon, or whatever, a big ass thing, right, and putting it in the oil reserve and filling it back up. And Joe Biden don't get criticized for taking it out, which Donald Trump put in for $1.50, and taking it out, and when he got to refill it, he's going to have to refill it for $6 at least. Because he's going to have to refill it in the future. He's going to have to refill it at $6.50 probably a fucking barrel. Think about it. Huh? Donald Trump bought it for $1.50. Joe Biden took it out and going to put it back in and sold it to the energy sector. So instead of selling gold, what's the gold right now? Oil.
In 1940, a British gold coin could be exchanged for 1,100 drachma. By December 1944, it could be exchanged for 19.9 trillion drachma. In October 1944, the exiled Greek government returned and implemented plans to curtail inflation. The country continued to be plagued with political instability, internal conflicts, and other difficulties. Post-war Greece was marked by other inflationary periods. The country joined the European Union in 1981 and adopted the euro in 2001.
They had to switch their monetary system to come out of inflation, right? Why you think Joe Biden is trying to federalize Bitcoin? Huh? You don't think Joe Biden is trying to add another financial institution to the country that'll help drag us out of inflation, that's on a national level or some shit like that, huh? By adopting a different currency?
Since then, inflation remains under control. Number 4, Germany. One of the most famous hyperinflation periods in history happened in Germany during the Weimar Republic. Events took a dramatic turn in October 1923 when wholesale prices increased by 29,500%. A loaf of bread in 1922 cost 163 marks. By September 1923, the price had increased to 1.5 billion.
Damn, imagine you got to buy a loaf of bread for 1.5 billion. Imagine how your grocery, look, damn the bread, how much a pizza costs, or a pack of chicken. If a loaf of bread costs 1.5 billion, how much is a loaf of damn chicken? What the fuck? You mean I gotta go to work for the rest of my life for a loaf of bread? Remember when them people was over there starving and you saw like in Africa, you see on the commercial, like, oh, people can't be that damn hungry, right? Yes, it is, because they was hitting with inflation, and they had that piece of bread, and they took them 1.5 trillion pesos or whatever to eat that loaf of bread. You be like, damn, no wonder they fucked up over there. 1.5 billion for a loaf? Nigga, you gotta be out your damn mind.
In November, it was 200 billion. The situation got so extreme that people were paid out at an hourly basis.
Can you imagine that? You got to go to your boss like, hey man, you late. 10 minutes for my motherfucking money, right? I need my money right now. You 5 minutes behind the schedule. I need my money. You paying motherfuckers by the hour because you don't know if the company gonna close down. You gotta pay motherfuckers. I heard paying motherfuckers by the day. I ain't never in my life heard motherfuckers paying by the hour.
Workers rushed to stores to secure food and produce before prices soared again. The prices doubled every 3.7 days on average. It was normal to see people carrying money in wheelbarrows. Restaurants stopped displaying menus. It was pointless. By the time a person finished eating, prices had gone up.
Look, you be eating dinner fast, motherfucker. Hurry up and get the check before the dinner go up. Like, no, you have to order dinner and like give me the check right now because I know in 10 minutes the dinner gonna go up. People are carrying money, wheelbarrows around every hour so they can get something to eat. No, give me my motherfucking money right now so I go get something to eat. Go get something to eat. Go put the shit at home. Go back to work. You know what I'm saying? For another hour and do it all again. And then when you go back to the store, the shit gonna be double. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get it all. Ooh, that's some bad shit. You probably gotta get a loan or something. You have to pay interest. You gotta put your house up. You gotta do all kind of shit to get food over there. If it's $200 billion for a loaf of bread.
Salaries and pensions lost their value fast. A university teacher, an esteemed position in society that came with a respectable salary, could no longer feed his family. A combination of factors led to this nightmare. After the First World War, the country had to shoulder the blame for starting the conflict, pay exorbitant reparations, relinquish control of colonies and territories, and limit the size of its army.
And
you have to do all that. Like, you motherfuckers start the war, you got to relinquish your army. You got to pay this. Like when Trump was like, oh, China got to pay. Remember when Trump was like, oh, China got to pay for this shit? The Democrat like, no, don't call her China like that. Don't do that to China. That's racist. He like, hell no. They started it. They got to pay. They got to pay the families. They got to pay everybody for this shit. Huh? China started this.
And to the extent that we borrow money from the rest of the world.
We borrowing money from the rest of the world, right? Every time, right? We're borrowing money from China, right? We talking all that shit about China, but we borrowing money from China, right? And China doing more than that. China doing some other shit, right? He finna further explain. And this is a money expert. He finna get into the taxes and everything. Joe Biden talk about taxes. He finna get into the taxes and tell you the truth about some fucking taxes that we didn't know, I didn't know, and Joe Biden didn't tell us.
It would be very human on the part of politicians in the future decide that they would rather pay the rest of the world back in dollars that are worth far less than the dollars they borrowed.
How you gonna pay somebody with less? Like the money has less value. It's gonna have less value in the future. Our money is devaluing. So when we pay people back, guess what? It's gonna be of less value because our dollar is not as valuable as it used to be. You can't pay people back. You can't borrow people back and then pay them back with less valued money. Ain't that a bitch? Of course you're going to go into recession if you're borrowing from countries and paying them back with less valued money.
This would already be a source of destabilization, but there was more. Germany had used bonds to fund the war. The plan was to conquer territories and pay the debt back with the conquered money. But in reality, the new republic was created already with a colossal debt resulting from pre-war bonds.
I mean, it's the classic way of reducing the impact and cost of external debt, and we're building up a lot of external debt.
Some economists
we're building up a lot of external debt. This is an expert, a money expert. He knows more about the economy than Joe Biden. This is who Joe Biden and them go to call for advice. You better learn about this dude. This is one of these AIG dudes. The White House hired these dudes a couple of times to work out financial plans and shit like that. Has done a video on it. That's these dudes. It's not BlackRock, the whole other dude, but it's the IEG dude. Forgot this nigga name, not Charles, whatever his name is, but this is him. He's telling you the real about the economy. Son, Joe Biden would never tell you. This might be some Illuminati video I wouldn't even supposed to find. He giving up all this game.
Estimate that it was probably around 175% of the GDP, with no option of a bailout. Quite the opposite. Germany needed to pay reparations to the other countries in hard currency. The government then started printing money to pay its debt.
Printing money to pay its debts, right? We printing money to pay our debts, right? Oh, our debt went down by such and such $1 trillion. Our debt went down. That's our debt. It's not. That's not our money we owe. We owe the money to other entities, huh? Printing money to pay off the debt. Joe Biden is printing money, and what he's bragging about, paying off the debt. Our debt is low, our debt is this. We paying motherfuckers off. Guess who we paying off? China. Yes, China like, hell yeah, pay off the debt, hoes. Make my money, ho. Because guess who we borrowing from? China. So all this old shit China talking about, Joe Biden talking about, the debt is going down and all this old shit, and I'm doing it. All that shit is going to China.
And to buy foreign currency.
I always find it interesting when politicians now talk about using the taxpayers' money to do this and the taxpayers' money to do that, and how the taxpayers are paying the bonuses at AIG. We haven't raised taxes at all in this country. Taxpayers are paying nothing.
The more it printed, the more the currency tanked and inflated.
The more money printed, the more currency tanked. Joe Biden is printing money and the currency is tanking. Like dude say, we're not even paying taxes. He finna break it down, right? Listen to him before he talk. Listen to him.
Inflation rose. People realized money had lost its value and rushed to spend. This created a vicious circle.
Beyond
people losing the value, losing money, right? People rushing to spend. What we doing right now? Rushing to spend. People are spending money and they can't even get the product. They gotta wait on the products to come months later. People spending money.
Beyond what they were paying a couple of years ago. As a matter of fact, the federal revenues this year, which were close to $2.6 trillion a couple of years ago, maybe more like $2.3 trillion. So we are taking less money from the taxpayers. The people who are really paying for the things we're doing now will probably be the people who are buying fixed dollar investments, much of it from the U.S. government.
Much of it for the U.S. government. You hear that, Rebecca Gillard? Huh? She said they're trying to make us go. Oh, I done a video on that on my last page, Rebecca. You know what I'm saying, on the digital things and the credit score and how they were snitching on people, and you can snitch on people, you get drunk. They got these cameras in your house, all kind of shit. You're on camera all kind of times of the day. You gotta be good. You know what I'm saying, to go to your kids go to this school, or for you to have privileges to fly, or for you to have privileges to watch TV, or all kind of shit. Right? They watching you. That Chinese credit score shit is serious. I done a special on that, Rebecca. You're looking out for reminding me of that. I probably have to do another one, right? But this is, you're not paying no extra taxes like he's saying. All that taxes, see Joe Biden be talking about? He like, ain't nobody paying no taxes. He said he not paying no taxes. Ain't nobody paying no taxes. You know who paying them taxes? China.
And who will find the purchasing power when they go to redeem those investments to be far less.
In 1914, a dollar was valued at around 4.2 marks. By November 1923...
We got to hear that again. Right? The people who invest in government, right, businesses like...
this year.
Government shit, right? They the one who losing money with these so-called taxes. It's not you. It's not me. It's not them. It's a certain entity of people that is losing money fucking with these taxes.
Which were close to $2.6 trillion a couple of years ago, maybe more like $2.3 trillion. So we are taking less money from the taxpayers. The people who are really paying for the things we're doing now will probably be the people who are buying fixed dollar investments, much of it from the U.S. government, and who will find the purchasing power when they go to redeem those investments to be far less.
In 1914, a dollar was valued at around 4.2 marks. By November 1923, the exchange rate for a single U.S. dollar was 4.2 trillion marks.
4.2 trillion for $1. That's how bad the economy that it was. That is bad. But like the experts say, we going through recession because look how much money we spending. We not even all that shit Joe Biden talking about with taxes. We not paying no taxes. It's the people that's that's buying these government whatever he said and not getting their investments back. That's who's making it millions of dollars. Like he's saying, our taxes didn't go up none like that, right? And the budget went up 2 trillion, 3 trillion, all these old trillions of dollars. It's the people whoever doing what the fuck he's saying, and that's China.
The situation was stabilized somewhat by a new currency, backed with hard assets in 1924. But by then, millions of middle-class Germans had lost their savings.
So you might say that the AIG bonus is probably the Chinese are the people that are ultimately paying the most.
This period...
Paying the most, right? And like Germany, you lose confidence in the government, right? Because for one, you can't trust the government. You don't know where the government money is coming from, right? Germany didn't know where the money was coming from, just like we not knowing where the money coming from. The money is coming from China. We borrow money from China. So when we paying that debt back, we paying that debt back to China.
It was so traumatic that some people say to this day, it still haunts the public and continues to be an influential factor in the country's debt aversion.
In terms of the loss of purchasing power they will have with their holdings of government bonds, U.S. government bonds many years down the road, but it's out.
U.S. government bonds. They buying U.S. government bonds, right? We got to pay China back. But we think we paying the federal national debt. The federal national debt is China.
It's better to say the taxpayer than to say the Chinese are paying for it.
Number 3, Yugoslavia. Taking third place on the podium, the bronze medal goes to the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. In the first month of 1994, the inflation rate rose 313 million%. During this time, you would be able to buy a loaf of bread with a 500 million dinar note. That's it, just one.
It's an interesting situation. I read that comment every day about how the taxpayers are doing this and that. You know, I haven't had my taxes raised. You haven't had your taxes raised. They're giving me $250 back here pretty soon. Yet taxpayers haven't paid anything so far. And my guess is that the ultimate price of much of this will be paid by a shrinkage in the real value of fixed dollar investments down the road.
Fixed dollar investments. You better learn about fixed dollars investments and all this so shit. Ain't nobody paying tax. We owe China that money. We borrow and paying. Borrow and paying. China is coming to fuck up.
And that will be the easiest thing to do. And if it's the easiest thing to do, it's the most likely thing to have happen.
The situation got so crazy that the cost of a pack of cigarettes in the morning would be the equivalent of 1 cigarette in the evening.
So if you buy a pack, you can buy a pack of cigarettes, right, in the morning, and in the evening at 12 o'clock, the same pack of cigarettes will cost the same as 1 cigarette. So you better buy your cigarettes in the morning before you won't have no cigarettes at night. Do you see what's happening on why the economy is so hot right now? They're giving a perfect example why the economy is hot. People are buying now because they know it's going to cost more later if they can get it. Because prices are raising. So you're thinking the stuff I need next year, I better get it now. Because how the price is raising and going and inflation is going, I don't know how much it's going to cost next year or if I'm going to be able to afford it. So people are going out of buying frizzy, not because they got extra money, because it's a necessity, because people don't know when it's going to go the fuck out or how high it's going to be next fucking year.
So you will see plenty of inflation. Now, the best protection against inflation is your own earning power. If you're the best teacher, if you're the best surgeon, if you're the best lawyer, whatever it may be, you will command a given part of other people's production of goods and services, no matter what the currency is.
Did you hear that? No matter what kind of currency or what kind of inflation that the country is going through, if you have a product that's going to sell, You're not going to suffer inflation. So when Joe Biden talk about all this taxing the rich and stuff like that and everybody getting hurt with inflation, not everybody getting hurt with inflation, because when you holler at Coca-Cola, I'm pretty sure they one of them 26% that feel the company or the country is going in a good place. If you holler at Nike, right? If you holler at food, Guess or any other fashion, you know what I'm saying, that's around, the Gucci or Louis Vuitton or something like that, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say the same thing. You holler at Vaseline, you holler at Crisco cooking oil or ketchup or mustard or whatever company, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say things are picking up too, because I'm pretty sure people are cooking more hot dogs at home, so they buy more mustard and ketchup, right? So Heinz is having a good damn time right now. I'm pretty sure that's the 26% that's saying, well, I don't feel the economy is struggling at all. Because when you risk like that, guess what? When somebody get broke, somebody got to get richer.
They're seashells or rice marks or dollars.
The money value was so high that the government kept introducing new plans to cut the zeros. It didn't work. The situation continued to deteriorate. On January 1st, 1994, the government knocked 9 zeros off the notes with a monetary plan. By the last week of the same month, it had already printed a 10 million dinar note.
Remember, when the inflation goes up, they start knocking. That's why dollars lose their value, right? Remember, they was talking about cutting out dollars because dollars really have no value. Dollars only have value when you getting change for a 5. You can't buy nothing with no single dollar really no more that's of value, right? You can't even go to the Dollar Tree no more, right? You can used to go to a dollar store, 99-cent store, and spend $1 and buy a product. You can no longer do that no more. So a dollar value has devalued now, because you can't buy the same thing with $1 as you could 2 years ago. It's not going to get you the same product, because you're going to have to add 35 cents to that very same dollar that you were spending 2 years ago, right, to buy the same fucking product. The same product. Everybody know, get your microwaves now. Everybody know, get your air conditioner now. Everybody know, get your first aid kits, your water and stuff you're going to put in the storage or stuff you may need in case of blackout or rollout or natural disaster hit. Everybody know, get the shit now, because it probably not going to be around later on, or you're probably not going to be able to afford it. Because when you need it and you got to order it and they say 3 months, guess what? You probably ain't going to get it. You probably ain't going to make it. Right? This is the reason why, because everybody is scared of the economy. They're not spending out of free will. They're not spending out of, they got extra money. They're spending out of fear.
So your own earning power is the best by far, if you're the best journalist, whatever it may be.
I'm the best comedian. That's why I be putting these damn skits together. When I get my viewers and I get more money, that's why I'm going to be making more and different kind of videos and skits and movies, because I feel I'm the best comedian. And right, and this is how you separate yourself, right? If you have the best product, right, and you have the best product, and you present your product in a marketable way, you don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about loss. You don't have to worry about reduction, right? And this is what this dude is telling you, right? Because of certain products, and they're going to explain that you cannot inflate, right? There's no inflation in certain products. Like I said, there's no inflation in Heinz ketchup. There's no inflation in Carnation milk. There's no inflation in Foster Farms chicken. There's no inflation in Minute Maid orange juice. There's no inflation in C&R sugar. They don't see them inflation, because guess what? I don't give a fuck how high I get, you're going to buy it.
You will get your share of the national economic pie, regardless of the value of whatever the currency may be as measured against some earlier standard.
To understand how this happened, we need to look at the disintegration of the former Socialist Republic of Yugoslavia from June 1991 to March 1992. Slovenia, Croatia, Macedonia, and Bosnia-Herzegovina declared independence. The remaining two countries, Serbia and Montenegro, formed what was called the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. The war that followed independence led to international sanctions, which include a trade embargo. The country relied heavily on imports, and the effects of...
Don't we rely on imports? We rely heavy on imports. We rely on imports to fly our damn spaceship to the moon. China for drones. We depend heavily on China's supply, just like they did.
Sanctions had a huge impact on the economy.
The second best protection is a wonderful business. You know, if you own the Coca-Cola trademark company, you will get a given portion of people's labor 20 years from now and 50 years from now for your product, and it doesn't make any difference what's happened to the price level generally.
Did you hear that? Coca-Cola, no matter what inflation is going through, at your lunch break, you're going to get you a Coca-Cola. At your barbecue, you're going to have you some Coca-Cola. At a funeral, wedding, you're going to have you some Coca-Cola. Whatever it may be, with your hamburger, you're going to have your Coca-Cola. So people are going to work to buy your product 50 years from now. So you don't have to worry about anything for the rest of your life, because people are going to buy your product for the rest of your life.
The country had 4 regional central banks, in addition to the official one. All of them, some of them illegally, conducted credit provisions and issued dinar notes without oversight.
What did we issue? PPE loans without oversight. There was no oversight. Now you're talking about arresting everybody because there's so much money given out. Well, wasn't them billions of dollars the one to help the economy roar back?
Because people will give up 3 minutes of labor, whatever it may be, to enjoy, a 12 ounces of a product they like. And so those are the great assets: your own earning power first, and then the earning power of a wonderful business that does not require heavy capital investment.
Right? It does not require heavy capital investment. Them are the best things where you don't have to spend money to make money, right? When you can invest in a talent, right? When you have to spend money to make money, and you have a good product and you have a good business. You have to bet on yourself, is what he's saying is. And this pandemic and this inflation or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you have to bet on yourself, because you can't bet on the government. So you have to bet on yourself. You have to bet that you're going to be able to have the product or have the ability to make ends meet, or make yourself sell, or make your product sell, make your business productive. It's up to you, not them.
The newly formed Federal Republic had also 2 outside republics formed by ethnic Serbian majorities: Republika Srpska in Bosnia and Herzegovina and the Republic of Serbian Krajina in Croatia. These 2 republics also went through hyperinflation periods with similar magnitude. The Republika Srpska, for example, had an inflation rate of 297 million% in January 1994.
290 million%. 290. These are recessions. We're not falling. We're not that bad. I don't think we'll ever get that bad. But look at the example of some certain country that went through war, went through all the stuff we went through, right? And going through the same things we went through. Look how high their inflation went.
If it requires heavy capital investment, you get killed in inflation. And with those guidelines, I would tell you the best thing to do is invest in yourself.
Later in 1994, the government created a new monetary plan with a new currency backed by the German mark. After that, inflation decreased to double-digit levels in annual terms, which persisted for years. Following Montenegro's independence in 2006, the country ceased to exist.
Cease to exist. You have to bet on yourself in this economy, right? Because remember, Joe Biden said it wasn't going to be inflation. to inflation gonna be transitory, to I'm working on everything to bring inflation down, to I don't know how far it's gonna go up and there's no end in sight. Think about it. So we don't know the levels. If it's 8% right now, see, we're not these other countries, right? Because they was already poor. So the percentage of them doing all that in their rubles and stuff didn't really go that high. I mean, they was already poor. But if we go to 20%, it'd just be like 100 or 1,000, right? Because if gas go to $10, $12 and the food go up and all that old shit, right? Because if gas go up, food gonna go up. If everything goes up and our wages don't and everything still stay the same, oh, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot of people, right? It's gonna be it's gonna be it's worse. It's gonna be worse than a trickle down effect, because remember, the middle class is always the first to go in all of these societies. The middle class. It's only the rich and the poor.
Number 2, Zimbabwe. The silver medal goes to the most recent case on our list, Zimbabwe. The African country had the world's second highest inflation and the first of the 21st century in November 2008.
Today, one number the White House was hoping would go down was when it comes to prices on consumer goods. They thought potentially as they worked out issues with the supply chain, that number would start to change.
The prices increased 79.6 billion%.
79 billion %. Our shit won't go that high, right? But Joe Biden said he's going to fight to make the prices go down. The prices are steadily going up, and they're going up by the week, by the month. We don't know how high these prices are going to go up, because Joe Biden and the Biden administration say they never came up with a plan. They can't tell you no plan. They blaming everybody else, and neither one of them say they have an ending in sight, or even when it's going to start going down. Remember, they said it was going to go down this month. Then he got on here and said, well, it didn't go down this month. I'm going to do everything in my power to bring it back down. Right? The experts say there's no end in sight. We don't know how high it's going to get.
A bag of sugar cost about 90 billion Zimbabwe dollars, and salaries of unskilled workers were around 200 billion.
200 billion. And sugar cost at 90 billion. So you have to work damn near half your job to get a bag of sugar.
That was the equivalent of $10 a month, 150 billion Zimbabwean dollars.
$10 a month. What in the hell can you do with $10 a month? And sugar costs $5. Sugar costs $5. And you're making $10 a month. What you gonna spend the other $5 on? You can't buy no eggs. I'm pretty sure eggs cost more than that. You can't buy no bread. Damn sure can't buy no meat. You probably got to hunt for the meat. I wouldn't even buy no sugar. Motherfucker can't eat no sugar. You can't, what are you gonna eat? You gonna have to buy something else. You gonna have to pass on the sugar and buy a loaf of bread. For the month. You work for the month for a loaf of bread.
Got you 20 eggs, and an average retirement pension paid out 130 billion, which at one point was worth less than $1.
Your retirement is less than $1. You worked your whole motherfucking life and you got less than $1 for retirement.
To understand what led to this, we need to understand history. After years of fighting between the white regime and black nationalists, Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980. Robert Mugabe emerged as a national leader and was able to consolidate his powers.
And every time a nigga done led a country in Africa, he done corrupted the country to ruins.
During his government, he moved toward an authoritarian regime of one-party rule.
What Joe Biden trying to do? He's trying to get rid of the Republican Party. What did the Democrats do? If it was a Republican Party when I ran, when I run again, They're trying to get rid of the Republican Party. Can you look? Imagine this, right? Imagine if Donald Trump wasn't president and elected 3 Supreme Court judges, right, to the bench. Could you imagine if Hillary Clinton would have won and selected 3 liberal judges to the bench? Oh my God, we'll be fucked right now. 3 liberal judges to the bench. We would have been fucked forever. Because they would have outnumbered us with 9 to 3. We would have never got even on the majority again. 9 to 3. Woo! I said 9 to 3. I put extra Supreme Court judges on this. I mean, it would have been 6 to 3. 6 to 3? Ooh-wee. You wouldn't have never got nothing passed. We would have been fucked.
And joined the First Congo War in 1990 and the Second in 1998. In 2000, he promoted the Fast Track Land Reform Program.
What has we been we're trying to do? The Green New Deal. The Green New Deal and this shit is the same thing from a dictator.
Which seized white-owned land without any compensation, ignoring a former joint effort with the British government. To make that possible, the central bank started lending directly to new farmers to finance the operations. This led to farmers being replaced by inexperienced, sometimes first-time landowners. Together with the impact of severe droughts, agricultural production and exports declined significantly as a result. The economy stagnated. Food shortages and riots started to take place.
Food shortages. Look. Think about this. A lot of food is passed down. A lot of people can't afford food and gas, right? Imagine if it's food shortages because of food supplies, right? And people just can't afford food. You don't think it's going to be no riots? You don't think it's going to be no fights? You don't think it's going to be no motherfuckers getting killed over food? If motherfucker kill you over a pair of Jordans, I'm pretty sure a motherfucker kill you over a hamburger. Huh? Think about it. If these motherfuckers out here hungry, they coming after you, the people that's eating. Because one day if we don't know how high food gonna get, right, and how high rent gonna get and gas gonna get, right, we don't know how long these niggas gonna be able to eat. Huh? We don't know how long they're gonna be able to survive before they gotta go into survival mode. Right? The economy is not this bad as $1 trillion damn percent, but if we get hit with 10%, you might as well say $1 trillion. Not 10%, 20%, you might as well say $1 trillion. We're not used to that. We're used to 2 and 3. We're not used to 20. That would be bad.
The involvement in the wars and accusations of human rights violations raised international criticism, and the country became increasingly isolated. All the uncertainty had a profound effect on the foreign investments, which fell from $400 million in 1998 to $30 million in 2007.
$400 million to $30 million, right? That's how they cripple a black country. They take all your exports, imports, cripple your damn your damn land and all those shit, and what you left with, right? You went from $400 million in investments to $30 million. What is the country left to do? Civil war, right? Cannibalism.
Since its independence, there was no year that the government had a balanced budget, and never a surplus. When inflation accelerated, the government tried measures like redenomination of the currency, limiting on money withdrawal, and a price freeze. Hyperinflation followed. and the population moved to foreign currencies, which exacerbated the situation. In 2009, the country created a multi-currency dollarization system that replaced the Zimbabwe dollar. Although it calmed the situation for a while, until today, even after Mugabe's deposition via a coup in 2017, there are still reports that the inflation rate is above 50% in the country.
Now, all these countries had to switch to a different currency to survive. Do you know what that means? That means they got overtaken by another government, right? Oh, yeah, you can switch to a currency, right? If we're able to do this, or if we're able to do that, right? We will let you join and share our currency so we can be able to trade with you with your diamonds and your minerals and stuff like that, right? So you have our currency, right? So it'll bring your currency up, right? That's like saying if I'm on food stamps and somebody say, hey, man, I got green dollars, and if you let me come over your house and set up a shop, I let you spend dollars with me, and you can throw away them food stamps because ain't nobody fucking with you with the food stamps. With these dollars, you can buy more products from other countries because your dollar value will raise because ain't nobody fucking with the Zimbabwe dollar, but they fucking with this dollar. So holla at your boy, man. What you want to do? We talking business or what? Now I can take this dollar. Now I'm Zimbabwe. I can go to other countries that take this currency too. That's the only way they got out of recession. They had to adapt another monetary system to get out of the fucking inflation. Sons of bitches.
Number 1, Hungary. Hungary experienced after the Second World War what is to this day the world record in inflation. The country had an inflation rate of 4.19 quadrillion % in July 1946.
I never even know they had that damn number.
Historians recall that the famous Hungarian poet George Faludy was paid 300 billion pego by his publisher. With the money, he was able to buy 1 chicken, 1 liter of olive oil, and a few vegetables at a local Budapest market.
That nigga was able to buy 1 meal, not even for his whole damn family, with a book deal. We're gonna pay you $15 billion. Somebody like you be like, damn, $1,500 billion? Yeah, you're gonna be able to buy chicken, some olive oil, and a couple of vegetables, like a damn potato and a damn tomato. That's it.
During this time, prices were doubling every 15 hours. With such high inflation, people started to rely on the black market. The desperation of the government was so big that it imposed the death penalty for dealings in black market trade in 1945.
Motherfuckers say, if we catch any one of you sons of bitches dealing in the black market, we're gonna hang your ass in public. Huh? Can there one of you sons of bitches even think about dealing on the black market? We need all the money. We doing bad. Be like, man, if I made 15 billion trillion dollars, nigga, and you tell me all I can buy is a chicken? Like, imagine if a motherfucker didn't sell no book. Imagine if a motherfucker just cleaning the bathroom at the local jihad park. Right? Imagine how much money he was making. I don't know if jihad over there, the Muslim park, or Hungarian park, or whatever the fuck is over there, the Arnold Schwarzenegger park. Imagine how much money he making. If an artist who sold a book can only buy a damn chicken, olive oil, and 3 vegetables. You've been working on this book all year. You have to take a side job. This is a bitch. I would wrote that book in 1 hour. I would have just scribbled some shit up in there and look, just take the book deal. You had a book that mean they had to get publishers and all kind of shit. All you got was a chicken.
A note with a face value of 100 quintillion pego was issued. Until today, no banknote with a higher denomination was ever issued. The roots of this nightmare.
Because you remember, right? A note is not, the value of money is not really nothing. It's just a note. So motherfucker can make money out of anything. Like, man, we're going to come up with a $500 bill. They got one. You got to buy it. Man, they got a $1,000 bill. They got a $2,000 bill. You can buy all these bills from the United States, and they're real too. Google it. You can buy all of them. Right? Because when money go up, guess what? They start knocking money down. Remember, my grandfather told me he used to have change for a penny. You really don't see pennies no more. I mean, you do, but you really don't. Right? Because they're trying to put everything on credit cards and everything on scanners and on phones and on apps and shit like that. So you don't need the paper. The paper is nothing. It's a promissory note. So hell yeah, I can make $1 billion, $1 trillion damn bill if I wanted to. And it's only one bill. You get change for it. Man, give me a change for this $100,000 bill. You got change for $1 billion on you. Can you imagine motherfuckers? Hey man, do you got change for $1 billion on you? I'm trying to make a phone call. What the fuck? You got change for $1 zillion on you, man? I'm finna buy this loaf of bread and they ain't got change. Think about it. Right? The money is a promissory note. It's a promissory note. Right? It's good for tenders and trades. You're supposed to trade and barter and work and you work for me and I'm going to give you this promissory note. Right? The promise and you can go take this promissory note. Right? And you can go to a store with this promissory note and give them a promissory note. Right? And they give you a product back. Because that promissory note is backed by government. So guess what? They can give it to the government. They're going to give the promissory note back to the government. And the government going to recycle it. And it's going to be another promissory note to somebody else. It's nothing. It's paper that you work so hard to get all your life. Is paper. You can throw it, you can burn the shit. You can do anything. It's paper. But they put a picture on it, a number on it, and a promise on it. Right? A $1 bill is made out of the same paper a $100 bill is. The only difference is the number on it. The only difference
are in the war damage, lack of reserves, reparations, costs of occupation, among other reasons. After the war, the situation was catastrophic. In total, economists estimate that 40% of Hungary's non-human wealth was destroyed.
Non-human wealth was destroyed. 40%. That's like Ukraine.
This had a huge effect on the production capacity and put pressure on prices. The Soviets signed the armistice with Hungary and set reparation costs at $300 million, which included the removal of equipment. The Hungarians also had to pay for Soviet troops stationed in the country. According to estimates, Hungary's after-war bill was between $600 and $900 million. With a huge deficit and isolated, Hungary had no other option than printing money. It printed so much that currency circulation passed from 25 billion pango in July 1945 to 1.6 trillion by January 1946, reached 65 quadrillion by May, and 47 septillion pango by July 1946.
I don't even know what kind of fucking record that is, right? Pentango. I don't even know what the fucking Pentango is, right? A quadrillion and the Pentango. What the fuck is the Pentango? Do they got something out there? I know numbers is ongoing, but damn, who can count up that damn high? What kind of number is that on inflation? If the product and the goods cost that much percentage more than the dollar, what do you got to do to get a loaf of bread on that one? If the other one was $10 a month, this must be $3 a month. fuck can you buy with $3 a month? I mean, we lucky to be living in the United States. But even then, you can't, like the dude say who know about the money, you can't trust the government. You got to trust yourself. You got to trust your goods. You got to trust your product. You got to trust your ambition. You got to trust your drive. You got to trust you. Right? The government is out of the equation. Right? See, I have to, trust me, I have to keep on doing videos and keep on doing jokes and keep on doing researches and stuff like that because I have to trust me. I have to trust that I am good. I have to trust that I am funny. I have to trust that I'm getting out the information, right? I have to trust me. I can't trust the government. I can't trust the other community. I can't trust the club. I can't trust no promoter. I can't trust none. I have to trust me. I have to get my ass up, or you know what I'm saying? I have to make these videos. I know that. Right? Because I know I can't, right, bet on nothing else. I have to bet on me. And that's the only thing I know how to do is tell jokes and do research. I mean, it's people who get paid way more than me for the same shit I do, right? But one day I'll hopefully be there, but this is what I do, and this is what I'm good at. I'm not good at anything else. I'm good at telling jokes, telling the truth, finding research, getting information, putting things together. Like, I just put this shit together, and you know what I'm saying, like, fast, but I'm good at that, you know what I'm saying, visualizing things, like, remembering shit. Like, I'm good with history. I got an elephant's memory. That's why when I remember certain things, I put things together, and it's funny how my head works with putting these skits together. You know, some people, it would take all day, but sometimes I can do it fast because once I get an idea, everything comes in my head, and I see it in my head before I put it on the damn editing thing, and I know just how I want the story to go. It's crazy. I don't know what's wrong with my damn head. Like, what the hell is wrong? Where are we getting these damn visions from? What the fuck is? Okay, it said inflation. Go here. Go to this video. What the hell? What this video is about? Go here. Somebody told me to play this video. What the hell is something talking in my damn head? Huh? What the hell is going on in my brain? Keep telling me to look up shit. Black. Look up inflation. I gotta give me another chair too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get my chair redone because this chair looking too messed up on the damn screens and stuff like that. Even though it's comfortable as hell, and this is the chair I've been through. I'm gonna bring my other chair up in here and put this chair in the shop. You know, just for the background. Do all of those shit. But anyway, I'm like, things be going through my head, like, what the fuck is going through my head right now? Well, I get all this information. I got so much, like, I got 4 or 5 skits I ain't even done yet, you know what I'm saying, on inflation, on school shootings, and abortions and all kind of shit. But it just said come to my head. I'm like, where the hell I get all this information from? And it's fast. But I know I can be faster. Now, like I said, I want to do more street interviews. I want to do more I want to evolve the comedy more, you know what I'm saying? Because I have visions in my head, you know what I'm saying, of things I want to do, but I can't do it, you know what I'm saying? Not because physically can't do it. I'm saying I financially can't do it, right? And one of the reasons I can't do it, right? Because, I'm going to tell you the truth, right? I was going around, when you drive around and you're looking for people to film, you know, because I live in a majority Hispanic neighborhood, right? So I have to drive at least 5 miles, about 10 miles, you know what I'm saying, to a black neighborhood, all right, to a multicultural neighborhood, right? Right, so you're driving 10 miles to get there, right? And then you're driving around looking for people, right? And then soon you be like, damn, right? Yo, you be like, that's already like, y'all, $25 worth of gas just driving over here to interviewing a couple of people. That's already $25 worth of gas. Like, what the hell? Like, it's really that. I mean, it used to be, right? And you could fill your tank up, right? And by the end of the day, that motherfucker be half gone. You be like, man, it's not even worth it. Like, you put $100 up in there, you come back, it's like 50, and you ain't win nowhere. You be like, whoo. I gotta find me a bike or something. I gotta find me a different way to interview people because this shit is good. But woo, yeah. I mean, it's it's really killing in LA, you know what I'm saying, to even do something in LA, because like I say, the gas is so high right now, and I didn't really, I mean, you recognize how high it is, but after a period of time, right, when you drive, you like, and you constantly like, damn, I ain't even went nowhere, and your shit is on E, or you ain't went nowhere, and your shit is half full, and you don't use 3-4 gallons, right? I mean, you say like 3 or 4 gallons back in the days wasn't shit. Like you burned 3 or 4 gallons like it wasn't shit. But 3 or 4 gallons now is $25. It's at least $20. 3 gallons is at least $20. You drive 3 gallons, that's $20 off the bat. Huh? I mean, and then like we live in LA, so it's a lot of food out here cheap. You know what I'm saying? Food hasn't went up as high as it went everywhere else, I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's lots of stores out here, lots of things like we right next to Long Beach, to the port. You know, it's a lot of farmland out here and stuff like that, right? So we get a lot of stuff out here, right? So food hasn't went up high, but it has went up high, and you can see the changes up in that shit, right? But next week's shows is, you know, I already started doing interviews about like what is not what is a woman, you know what I'm saying? What is the position of a man, really, you know what I'm saying? Because we got all these men trying to be women and really don't know what women is, and women getting their rights took and all kind of stuff. So I want to know, what is the position of a man? What can a man do? What can a man not do? What is his position? And it's going to be funny, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be exciting, just like the rest of the video. But I want to end this show right now. I want to thank y'all for coming out. Thank you for donating to the show. Thank you for keeping this going. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to think of some crazy shit in my head when I'm going to sleep. Something's going to wake me up like, Black, think of this. Or Black, do this. I wasn't even planning on doing no video tonight. I'm like, man, this shit gonna be fun. I'm gonna do Sunday night. I'm bored. Let me go ahead and put this shit together. There you go. I'm out of this bitch. I'll see y'all next time. Hope y'all enjoy. Hopefully you enjoy.